So I'm back with another video, and the video for today is basically just a kind of a warning that I want to give people. And more than anything, it's just something I want to get off my chest because this is something that is very common in the fitness industry. Whether it be on online articles through Google, whether it be through some of the people who want to spread fitness through Instagram. So there is a certain agenda that everyone actually wants to serve, right? So not everyone actually wants to help you achieve your goals. Everyone has their certain agenda. It's very obvious. I'm not claiming to be a saint or anything in this matter as well. Everyone has their own agenda. So the point of the matter being that as long as your agenda is served, it's all fine, unless you're not giving out the wrong information on social media platforms. Because social media is something which is very good for you, but it can be very bad for you at the same time as well. So it's kind of like and this is prevalent in all fields. This is prevalent whether it comes to news or any other thing. So what happens is, if you gather a certain following, whether it be on any of the social media platforms, be it Instagram, YouTube, or wherever, you owe them a certain responsibility of giving out the right information rather than just regurgitating information, to be very honest. And there are certain people who actually tell a lot of things that they have tried on themselves and that might have worked for them, which is completely bullshit when it comes to science. But they still dish it out as knowledge, as relevant knowledge or scientific knowledge. Now, at least I am not counting myself out of this also, because I give you certain out of the box things which worked for me as well. But then I mention that it worked for me, it might not work for you, right? So you should at least tell the person what he's getting into and what is the basis of the information that you're supplying. So if there is something which is not based on science and which is purely based on my own experiences, I will always tell you in the video itself that this is something that I have tried and it's worked for me. So it's up to you to try it, and it might not work for you. But if according to me it has worked for me, and I have trained a couple of people or more than a couple of people and it has worked for them, so it might just work for you as well. So that is my point. So whether it be any bullshit article on Google or whether it be Instagram or any other kind of social media, if you see someone advising, whether it be the biggest of fitness celebrities or anyone from any field, when they actually see or when you actually see them advise you on a certain topic, and the advice is completely different from what logic would suggest or what science would suggest, then you need to actually go ahead and do some reading on that, right? Because you can't just take one person's word. It's just it's when you're actually looking for something very very trivial as well, you go to 100 different websites, check everything out, and then you actually cross check everything and then go for that purchase, right? So why do anything different with your health as well? So if someone actually gives you advice about your fitness and makes some ridiculous claims and saying that it actually worked for him, so why not do some reading up upon that and actually get it cross-checked, and after that decide to follow it or not to follow it. That will in the end the decision will be up to you. I'm saying this because I recently was on one of the social media platforms. Now I prefer to be completely anonymous about this because I'm not calling anyone out. Rather neither am I interested in that. I'm not that kind of a person. I don't want to get into other people's business unless they stick their nose into mine. So my point being that I recently saw a couple of things being posted on a social media platform. One of them being that coffee was something which was detrimental to you if you took it after workout, and I mean detrimental to your gains if you took it after workout. So the explanation was a little vague in my opinion, because it was not defined completely by science and there was no study as such which was quoted. So first of all, this is not true. You can take coffee and caffeine after your workout. it is actually good after your workout as well. You can take it as a pre-workout, you can take it during your workout, you can take it after your workout. Caffeine, unless overdosed upon, is very good even after workout. I'll list out why it's good. One is that caffeine actually increases the glucose level of the body, the glycogen level of the body. So if your body is a car, then glycogen is kind of like the fuel that it runs on. That's the muscle fuel. Okay, so that is why you need to understand that if there is caffeine in your body and it's replenishing the glycogen levels in your cells and actually in your muscles as well, so that will replenish you a lot better. That will instigate a lot of muscle growth as well. Okay, so what I'm looking for here is that caffeine has a definite positive when it's entering your bloodstream or when it's entering your system after a workout as well. The other thing being that if you work out late at night, then yes, there is one slight detriment that can be there, is that it can mess with your sleep a bit. If you're caffeine sensitive, then I would suggest not taking caffeine at all after a workout. But if you're someone who is let's just say whose sleep is easily disrupted, then if you're working out late at night, then caffeine might be something which might affect your sleep. Also, the other thing that I am looking at here, so the entire point is first of all clearing out this myth, the entire coffee issue that is here. But the point of this is that this information has been taken by a lot of people. There are about thousands of views, about 1,000 views on that video. So what happens is this luckily is not a piece of information which will cause you a lot of harm. But then there are a lot of similar pieces of information which can be very harmful, which are shared by a number of people and which is actually taken to heart by a lot of the young enthusiasts of fitness, and they will have no issues in actually taking this as a rule and actually following them. So they ultimately, if any harm kind of befalls them, so it is completely your responsibility. Because if you are having that kind of a following and if you have decided that yes, you will spread the information that you have gathered, so let it be information which is backed by fact and studies, right? So I can link a couple of studies down below which will back the claims that I am making, because I actually was quite surprised because of the fact that coffee, because it was a real eyebrow raising moment for me that taking coffee after a workout can lead to catabolism. So yeah, this is not something that is a life and death situation, but definitely why give information which is wrong when you can actually read a couple of articles. I mean, I'm just saying, for example, I'm not saying it will make you a pundit reading a couple of articles, but then actually, why not read and cross-check whatever you're going to say on a social media platform before actually going ahead and saying it. That's my entire point. And yeah, so if you actually want to know the gains and losses or whatever of coffee after or before workout, pre-workout, post-workout, you can check out my video on supplements. I've already pasted a 40-minute video or posted a 40-minute video on supplements. You can have a look at that, and I'll link it in the description, and I'll post a couple of studies down below. You can have a look at it. And yeah, so that's about it. So just stay alert and stay logical, and I'll be seeing you.